Welcome, friends. Pull up a chair, get comfy, and listen to our tale. These tales are written by a group of friends who took turns to add to and develop their story. But of course, they didn't do this easily. They had to include prompts from images on a set of randomly thrown story dice. Let's see what they came up with. Today's tale is The Craig Who Cried Magnet. We're on an alien planet, and Craig, an unusual man, who finds his planet so intriguing and adventurous, asks a question.
Who's he asking the question to?
I'm trying to tell a story. Please don't interrupt me.
But who is he asking the question to?
Himself. Now please, be quiet and let me read.
So he's a bit crazy?
Maybe he is crazy. And with a face like that, he hasn't got many friends to ask anyway. But if you let me continue, we will find out. Anyway, unlike the rest of the planet, he's not adventurous. But he wants to be, so he decides to find an adventure. He asks himself, if the planet was to have been moved, how would I know about it?
Why is he concerned that the planet has been moved?
If you let me continue, we might find out.
So Craig, with his weird paranoia that his planet has moved for some reason, even though there's no reason to suspect that it has.
Maybe he has a reason to suspect that it has, but we won't know if you don't stop interrupting me. He decides to look through the metaphorical keyhole. He comes to the conclusion that the absolutely only way this planet could have been moved is if aliens had set up a giant magnet in the sky and pulled it.
That is some real powerful magnet.
It must be a powerful magnet. We're talking a magnet about the same size as the planet. He needs to find a way of proving this magnet exists. So he starts his adventure searching and talking to people. He speaks to some of the planet's scientists, and they will just say it's insane. They say, we have millions of telescopes around this planet, and if there was a massive magnet and aliens in space, we'd have seen them. We'd have seen this massive magnet, and we've not. So you're a nutcase, and we'll probably have to have you locked up. He's not deterred by this, and decides to continue. He will prove his point. He is adamant he is right, and there is a giant magnet somewhere in space pulling them.
He's starting to sound like a flat earther, trying to prove that the earth is flat by sailing to the edge.
I must admit, thinking you know more than experts on the subject is silly. But this is a sci-fi, so who knows where it could be going. So he goes to this shady nightclub, where there's lots of gambling going on.
Hit me.
If you don't shut up, I really might. He starts playing some weird dice games with some of the people there, thinking these people in the black market dodgy parts of the planet might know a bit more. But while playing this dice game, Craig finds a mysterious stranger in a cloak. He can't see his face, but he tells him if he meets him tonight in the alley behind the club, he'll tell him everything he needs to know.
Because meeting strangers in an alley always goes well. Free candy, anyone? Wait, is it going to be like, Luke, I am your father?
Are you quite finished with your rambling?
I think so.
So Craig, at this very dodgy nightclub, steps outside, runs into a very drunk and disorderly Dave Attenborough, and he tells him all about the magnet.
You realise this means they had to draw David Attenborough in our style.
Oh shit.
I think the question is, why is David Attenborough on an alien planet? He's there to experience the new civilization that he sees before him. He's creating a new documentary for the BBC.
Dave Attenborough is actually there telling them about the mess that the humans have caused on Earth, and how this planet is next. If they do not act now, this planet will have the same fate as Earth.
Oh, shit's going down.
He's wearing an exclamation mark on his shirt. He means business. He's carrying with him some papers he found on Earth. They are secret documents that reveal the secrets of this giant magnet, and that what Craig is saying is true. So he tells Craig that he has these papers, and he knows where the magnet is. He tells Craig to go with him. Unfortunately, Craig is struck with a bolt of lightning.
So, what happened to the shady guy in the alley?
That was Dave Attenborough.
Okay. David Attenborough is now a shady guy who's drunk down an alley. Can anyone actually see David Attenborough being drunk?
I'm sure he has been.
A drunk David Attenborough documentary. That could be interesting. Now here today with a father squirrel in a native habitat.
Please stop. I just want to tell the tale without your constant interruption.
I'm just giving feedback and improving on the tale. But you go ahead. Continue.
With Craig being struck by lightning, there were sparks flying everywhere. Not sure what exactly happened, he looks around to find himself dazed and confused, wondering where the lightning bolt would come from. He looked down beside him to find a rod sparking with electricity. He manages to gather himself up. He looks around for Dave Attenborough, but finds him nowhere in sight. He has this mystery that he now has to try and deal with. Where is this magnet? The documents he was shown give him little detail, but his adventure was real. It was happening. He spends all of his time walking around, trying to figure out where this magnet is hidden, so he can use it for his own personal use, to help move the planet. Suddenly, the Illuminati.
Oh my god.
They're not quite the Illuminati, but they do have the eye.
More like the Illuminati.
They are a secret organization with a third eye on their heads. Because it's an alien planet, of course.
Fair.
He looks at them with fear, thinking, why have I never seen these people before? Where have they come from? The alien turns to him and says, sorry about the lightning bolt. We were testing our new power supply for that magnet. And the issue is we had it charged up a bit too high, and it blew up as we were aiming it at David Attenborough.
They were aiming for David Attenborough? He knows too much.
They're trying to prevent him from making the same mistakes that were made on Earth, basically.
But David Attenborough saved Earth.
Does he, though? He didn't. Otherwise, why is he here on this planet trying to prevent what happened to Earth?
Are you claiming that David Attenborough is a terrorist?
I'm saying he knows a good way out. He's got like a spaceship or something.
So these other aliens are the terrorists?
Could be. Who knows?
Maybe David Attenborough is one of the other aliens.
We are not turning David Attenborough into an alien.
So what happens next?
Oh, so now you want to listen. Well, I don't know. There isn't anything else written. I think they just stopped there.
So is this where it ends? A cliffhanger?
Well, I guess so.
Oh, I want to add something. Can I?
I mean, nothing stopped you while I was telling the tale. What is it?
Well, I've been listening to the story writers and their friends, and when they say something weird, I've made notes. So I'd like to have a quote from one of them at the end of each episode with no context given, please.
I suppose that might be quite funny. Go on then. I hope you all enjoyed this tale. If you did, please give us a like. There'll be plenty more tales to come, so please subscribe for more. Thank you for joining us.
And me.